We should not be jailing people based on their immigration status. We need to end that practice. Next, I want to invite Stephanie Gonzalez, who many of you know has been a leader and advocate in Central Falls, born and raised, so she could share her story. She has been not only a political leader, but working on this issue as well. Stephanie?
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand before you today as someone who was born and raised here in Central Falls, as the daughter of immigrants, and as someone who, when I was a child, actually visited a family member here at the Wyatt. In 1991, leaders in Central Falls were sold a lie. They were convinced that building a detention facility was the solution to the financial distress the city was facing. On the contrary, the city's financial problems were never solved by putting a prison within its borders, because nothing positive comes from incarcerating people for profit. Instead, we've subjected children to growing up and normalizing a prison near the football, soccer, and baseball field where they play, as you can see behind us. We have subjected our own residents to be jailed because of their immigration status. In fact, in 2008, the New York Times published an article about the Wyatt titled, "City of Immigrants Jails Its Own." The city's own residents told stories in that article about how people, their neighbors, their family members, began to disappear only to later find out that they'd been held here, right next door. We, and I say we because I believe it's incumbent on all of us to check our moral compasses. We must work to lessen our collective deference to the carceral state. The creation of the Wyatt, as we know, was enabled by legislation, supported by legislators from across the state, who were all too comfortable opening a prison in the most economically disenfranchised community in our state. It is not violence in its traditionally understood form, but it is violence nonetheless. But today we have an opportunity to change that through the package of bills introduced by Representative Giraldo and Senator Acosta. It is time that we hold the Wyatt accountable for the human deaths that have occurred on its watch, and ensure that we hold the facility to high health standards for the duration of its existence. But the underlying injustice continues to be incarceration, and especially incarceration for profit, aided and enabled by financial institutions and corporate leaders who see dollar signs over human beings. But ultimately, we must set the state on a path where for-profit prisons are eliminated in the foreseeable future and are prevented from ever existing again in our state.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was amazing for sharing your voice and your story with us today.